Hello and welcome to Talk West Ham. This is the show where you are in control. We get you calling in, giving your opinions on the video. You choose a topic and it's our most interactive show. Get your comments in the live chat and we'll get them on the screen. We'll have a little look at them and see what you're saying. Anything West Ham goes. Charlie, how are you feeling tonight? You're my temporary host for the next 5-10 minutes.
Listen, a substitute best, I'm like Ole Gunnar Solskjaer comes off the bench, bangs it. Do you know what I mean? I'm effective in that role and I'm happy to take it.
You're like a caretaker host.
Okay, depends which caretaker we're talking about, but I'll take that depending on who it is. Trevor Brooking, I'm going with.
Yeah, I was going to say you're going to have to go with the Sir Trevor Brooking option, aren't you? Unbeaten.
Legend, I would go as far as to say legend, but
I wouldn't go that far. I would, but Right. Are you ready for the first guest, Charlie? You ready for the first guest? We've got him ready. He's ready. He's in the back. He's ready to go. Let's get him in and see what he's here to talk about. We've got Jake with us. Jake, how you doing?
I'm good, Geo. I'm Charlie. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. I'm good.
Yeah, I'm really good. And what you come to talk about, Jake?
Oh, just come to talk about the obviously big game tomorrow. Man United in the cup. I think we can have a kind of a real go at them tomorrow. Soucek's back, obviously. We've all talked about it. Obviously, the appalling red card. He's back. Don't want to kind of go on that too much, but yeah, I'm feeling really confident going into it. To be honest, having Soucek back is going to be very crucial. Obviously, having our kind of our preferred central defensive midfield partnership and High Peach, and yeah, it's just really confident going into it. I mean. It would be ideal to have Antonio there, but let's hope he passes the fitness test tomorrow morning. But yeah, for me, Yarmolenko isn't going to cut it. I prefer to see Odebeko come in. To be fair, that is chucking him in the deep end, but I can't see Moyes will do it, but I just don't want to see Yarmolenko going up front tomorrow, if I'm being honest.
Would you risk Antonio, Jake, if he was sort of 80% fit? What would you prefer? Would you prefer to see an 8% Antonio, or would you rather to risk or chance Mipo Odebeko?
Oh, well, it's difficult, isn't it? Because I think that, if we get Antonio firing into a kind of the way we were seeing him before he got his last injury, he's absolutely unstoppable, isn't he? But I think it's going to be tough how actual fit he is. For me, I think this is one of our biggest games. This is the biggest game of our season for me. If we get through, I think that it's going to be absolutely fantastic. But yeah, I'd personally, if Moyes thinks he's okay to play, then he's got to go out there and play him.
Would you play the rest of the team as strong as possible, the first team back four and stuff like that?
Yeah. For me, we've got to go at it fully. I would have preferred to seen some rotation against Fulham, but our first team didn't cut that at the weekend, did it? But yeah, I think full side. I think obviously Lingard's cup tied and it's his parent club, so I think Fornals comes back in. But yeah. Same back four, obviously same midfield we can now play with, and the same front four if Antonio's fit with Benrahma, Bowen, Fornals, and Antonio.
We've got a bit of a striker issue at the minute, Jake. What did you think about Moyes choosing not to bring in a striker in the transfer window?
Oh, well, to be fair, I thought we were going to bring one in. I thought we wouldn't be so stupid to not bring one in, but there we go. That's West Ham. But I think it's left us if we all kind of saw Antonio hold his hamstring and say he needs to come off, we thought, oh God, this is going to be another month. But obviously it's not as bad as we first kind of thought it was going to be. But I mean, if Antonio does go out for a month, or if he is out for a couple of weeks, I think we're left in a deep hole. And Yarmolenko, we can't cut it. He's better on the right wing. I hate seeing him up front. He's not a striker, and to be fair to him, he's not a striker at all. He's not that kind of player. And just give Odebeko a chance if we're in that position. I mean, he's scoring goals for fun in the under-23s. I know it's completely different and not as kind of high level, but he's still got talent there, and there is talent to come from him.
Charlie or Sir Trevor, think of a question or two for Jake. Right, live chat, get your questions in for Jake. We'll give one or two questions from the live chat in for Jake as well. If you've got any questions for this young man, he's talking about giving young Mipo Odebeko his debut. We're giving young Jake his debut in Hammers chat here tonight. So get your questions in for him as well. Charlie.
Right, back in the day when we first started doing Hammers chat, Geo destroyed me in a show once because we had an opportunity to go fourth or go for the FA Cup final. Jake, if you had the choice, would you rather get to an FA Cup final or get top 4?
I think it's FA Cup final for me. I think that would be. I mean, there's not going to be anybody there, is there? But just to sit here in front of our microphones and to see us play it in an FA Cup final, and hopefully go one better than we did in 2006. I was -1, so I didn't see it. But yeah, for me, yeah, I prefer to win the cup, get to the final, and what a day it would be in our living rooms, hey?
Jake, Abu's asking, should he have pasta or rice for his dinner?
Pasta. It's got to be pasta.
Don't ask Charlie. Charlie will say both. Charlie will say,
Well, I mean, yes. Okay, yes, but harsh, Geo.
Mixie's asking, whose fault is it that you're a West Ham fan?
My dad. That's all him. I was went to my first game in when I was what was I? Was I 6, 7, 8, something like that? And yeah, haven't really had a choice, but haven't looked back since.
Ben is asking, the mania over the potential Antonio Soucek absences highlights how much we are playing with fire with injuries. Jake, what do you think would happen to us if we got injuries in these positions?
Oh, well, it would be a complete and utter shambles, wouldn't it? Because it would end up having Mr. West Ham in midfield and having to go. Obviously, if Antonio goes out for kind of a considerable amount of time, I think our kind of, top 4 hopes is a bit much, but I think that our Europa League places, we could say goodbye to that hope. I think it's just poor from the people up top, I think, and it should have bought a striker in, should have bought, we were linked with millions. I think you said on your deadline day show how many we were linked with. But yeah, typical West Ham, we didn't bring one in, and we're now teetering on the edge of an absolute shambles.
What do you make of this comment then? Abdullah says that Bowen up top is the way to go. You can't drop him, but you can't play him on the right. He played striker at Hull sometimes. You can hold the ball up. He's got a bit of pace. We cannot risk Antonio. Bowen up front is the way to go. What do you think about that, Jake?
Well, I prefer that over Yarmolenko, but I think that just doesn't give us that cover on the right-hand side. Perhaps Fredericks could do it, but he was only brought in to double up on Grealish in the week, wasn't he? But for me, I would have said completely no to that before the Aston Villa game. But Fredericks has given Moyes another kind of option there, and I prefer to see him go up top than I would to see Yarmolenko go up top.
You really don't like Yarmolenko, do you?
Well, no. Not up front, no. I just don't think that's not his game, and that's not where he should be playing. He's just trapped in the deep end. I know he plays for Ukraine up top for the Ukrainian team, but it's just the way we play. It's another Haller situation. We're just going to be end up. He doesn't fit our system. He's not an Antonio, and it just won't work.
Yeah, where do you want him to play then? The bench. His best position. Jake, there's a lot of love for you in the live chat right now. I'm sure you can see it as well on your screen. Andy's saying, wouldn't you play Lanzini, Benrahma, Bowen, and Bowen? I think there's an error here already across the midfield and rotate. Oh, okay, I think he's saying Lanzini, Benrahma, Fornals, and Bowen across the midfield and rotate those in the striker position.
Well, for me, I think I prefer to play kind of an out-and-out striker up front, but it's an option. I think obviously Lanzini got a lot of love after his screamer against Spurs, but he's not, obviously, since he's come back from his injury, he's not as he was in the bowling years. And yeah, that could be an option, but I just fear Lanzini. He's not quite there, I don't think.
Charlie.
Yes.
Do you know what happens to all caretaker managers?
Well, eventually someone takes over.
Someone takes over. Someone's going to take over from you. Do you know do you know who I think should take over from you? Do I have a guess? You've got one guess.
I'm trying to remember who actually took over from Trevor Brooking, and it's left my mind. Is it? Well, let me put it this way: if it was up to me in an Alex Ferguson style world to choose the next person, it would be Jake.
Okay. Jake, you all right? You all right with that, Jake? You ready to co-host for a little bit till Gonzo appears?
Yeah.
Good lad. Let's get rid of Charlie. Charlie, I'll see you in a bit.
See you in a bit.
Right. Before we get our next guest on, we're gonna tackle this, Jake. Right. Hammer's Chat need to give this kid his own show. Much as I'd love to, I'm not gonna do that because Jake's got his own channel. Okay. So tonight. The link's in the description below. It's called West Ham Unofficial. His channel is called West Ham Unofficial. The link is near the very top of the description. So have a look out down below. Charlie's putting in the live chat. I want everybody that's watching this right now to go and subscribe to Jake's channel. Okay, so at the minute, when we went live, Jake had 623 subscribers. Let's get this young lad up to 1,000 tonight. Let's do it. Yeah, Jake, we're going to do it.
Sounds good. There's one just come through there. Thank you very much, Drac. Oh,
Yeah.
and it's come up. There we go.
Charlie's doing all the fancy bits. There we go. There we go.
Wow.
We're up to 7
Here we
already.
go.
Let's get Jake to 1,000 subscribers tonight. If you've got social media, tweet Jake's channel. It's in the link's in the description below. Tweet it out. Let's encourage West Ham fans to go and subscribe to him. Because I'm not just saying this. This young lad, I thoroughly enjoy his channel. You're coming after my job as a presenter. Your content's fantastic. The way you speak with grown men and stuff like that is brilliant. You wouldn't know you were 13 if you were to not look visually and just listen audioly. You would not know that you were 13 years old. You're absolutely fantastic. So everybody, let's get Jake. There we go. 657.
Wow.
Let's get him to 1,000 subscribers. All right, come on, let's go. Let's do this tonight. 9 o'clock tonight. This show finishes. I want Jake on 1,000. If he's on 1,000, I don't know. We'll give away a mug. We'll give away another Hammers Chat mug as long as Jake's on 1,000. Right, I'm going to shut up now. Shut up. Jake, you've got one sentence to convince people to subscribe to your channel. What are you going to say?
Well, I mean, this is a great channel here, but I am quite young and I do all the stuff that you guys do. So please subscribe to my channel, previews, reviews, all of that stuff that everyone else does. So please subscribe.
Good lad. Right, let's get our next guest in. We'll have a little chat with them. And you can do some co-hosting, right?
Yeah.
Tommy, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good, Tommy. I'm good. What do you come to talk about tonight?
Elephant in the room, I'm afraid. We're going to have to talk about VAR. It's got to be done. I'm really pissed off. I've been on with Jake before on one of the channels. I think it was the Orange channel, was it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we know each other. So it's not our first rodeo. But yeah, listen, I got to talk about the issue with VAR, and as I see it, actually one of the major flaws in the system, and it's about basic human psychology. I think I was talking about this with Ben yesterday. So I think the Soucek incident, it kind of highlights it perfectly. What happens psychologically between referee on the pitch and what's being said to them from the VAR room, and it's something I've noticed this season. And the problem is when referees get sent to the monitor. Now, I was racking my brains today trying to think, was there a single time I can remember where a referee was sent to the monitor and stuck with his original decision? I couldn't think of one. Now,
did you not watch my interview with Mark Halsley yesterday?
I did, yeah.
Well, he said in it, he only knows one. Anthony Taylor done it. He got called over. He looked at it and said, no, I'm not changing. Thank you. I'm going to stick with what I've said.
Yes, and kudos to him, because herein lies the problem. And it was highlighted perfectly on Saturday, because the actual incident itself, I think to everybody who was watching, even neutral fans, I think even Fulham fans watching were like, that's not a red. It's one of those. I've played like Kerry District League level football, right? This is like low down there in the world of football, and that happens all the time. Those accidental little clashes when you're trying to you've got contact on the edge of the box, a little bit of jostling before a free kick, and you try to extricate yourself from your marker, and you try to move away and get around him. So you bring your arms over out the way and you clip someone. It happens all the time, all over the world, every game. Everyone watching that knew that was not a red card. Everybody. So there are two massive problems here with VAR. The first one is why Mike Dean was asked to look at it in the first place, which was a bizarre decision, and we need answers to that. But the real problem for me is the psychology, because if you're a referee on the field and you've just made a decision, and then you get a call from the VAR team at Stockley Park that says, we think maybe you want to revisit that and take another look, and maybe go check the monitors and look at the replays of that. Now, for you as the on-field referee, the people who've just told you that are people that you work with who are experienced Premier League officials, people who you consider to be very competent and experienced, and you have a lot of respect for. So before you've even gotten to the monitor, you're thinking, okay, they think I've got this wrong. They're in the VAR room, they're looking at replays, they think I'm wrong. So before you've even gotten to the monitor, you're already really, really doubting your own original decision. And I think psychologically, the pressure to change your mind, despite what you're seeing in the replays, is actually massive. And so I think that's why we saw an incident like we did on Saturday, where something that was very clearly actually not a red card, where clearly did not come under the rule of intent, and therefore was not serious foul play. And yet, because it's in his head that his colleagues, who he respects at Stockley Park, think he's wrong, he erred on the side of caution as regards maintaining their respect as a referee by saying, I'm just going to get in line with him here so that now we're all in sync and we can all still respect each other. And I think there's a real danger in that. And that's why I think we have to be very, very careful about what the people in the VAR room at Stockley Park are allowed to feed into the ear of a referee on the pitch. I think we really need to look at this and get it right, because while it wasn't a huge deal on Saturday, can you imagine if that decision had been made 10 minutes into an FA Cup final? You know, then it becomes a massive, massive problem. And I don't think we should wait for that to happen. I think the FA and Premier League really, really need to look at this and try and get this right and try to mitigate against those kind of psychological decisions being made. So that's one of my major gripes with it, and I think it's actually quite dangerous.
Jake, what do you think about VAR? Well, first of all, Jake, do you call it VAR or VAR? Are you like Tommy and David Moyes, or do you call it like VAR like the rest of us?
I call it VAR, but yeah, it's an absolute shambles. And question to you, Tommy, why do you think that it's been a success everywhere else in the world, but we can't get it to work in England?
Yeah, it's hard to know, actually. Yeah, I mean, look, we're used to this in rugby. You know, rugby, they go to the TMO all the time, right? So it's hard to know, but another thing, actually, that's weird, Jake, is why can't we hear it? In rugby, it's transparent. Everybody gets to hear what the TMO and the ref are talking about, what they're saying to each other, how they're coming to their decisions. It's all very clear and transparent. Why can't we do that in football? Why in the Premier League can we not hear? Who would not like to know what was said from the VAR room people to Mike Dean and vice versa during that entire kind of episode? And why can we not? I don't think there's any reason that we shouldn't hear it. And it's actually a difficult question, Jake. I don't see why they couldn't get this right. Or couldn't be better at it. And look, I'm not trying to be too harsh on it. Obviously, these systems, when they're introduced, you always have to expect they're not going to be perfect immediately. They're going to have to be tweaked and improved on. I don't know what the TMO system was like right from the get-go in rugby. I don't know. I assume that had teething problems too. But I don't know enough about them around the world and how well they work elsewhere. But I know, as it says there, Richie's absolutely right. In Australia, you can hear the conversation. It's very clear, very apparent. But the Premier League got a problem and they need to solve it one way or another.
Right, listen, Tommy, we're going to have to love you and leave you there because we've got another guest lined up. Thank you for coming on. Thank you for your rant about VAR. Much appreciated.
Thanks for letting me do it. Cheers.
Cheers, Tommy. Take care. Jake, how you feeling? You good?
Yeah, good. Yeah, good. I mean, VAR it's an absolutely massive problem. But moving on.
Do you want a little update?
Yeah.
There we are, 720. Wow. We're on. There we go. We're up by 97. Let's keep this going. If you're on social media, I've done a tweet with Hammer's Chat. All you have to do is retweet it. Let's get Jake up to as close to 1,000 as we can tonight.
Thanks, guys.
I don't mind VAR. I think it's used incorrectly. I think if you're looking at something, whether it's offside or a replay of a major incident for longer than initially, I don't know, 20, 30 seconds, it's not clear and obvious error. The stipulation was it's clear and obvious, so let's keep it clear and obvious. I think we'll have less issues that way. I don't like this whole zooming in for offsides and stuff. We're using VAR to find reasons to disallow goals and stuff, and I think that's wrong. Just like on Saturday, we saw VAR looking for a reason to send off Soucek, and I think that's the wrong mentality. I think that's the problem with it. We're looking for stuff that necessarily doesn't exist. Right, we're going to bring on my co-host now. Gonzo, how you doing?
Very well, yourself?
Yeah, not bad, not bad. We've had a replacement for you.
And that's another young chap like myself.
What's
Why are you laughing? Why's Jake laughing?
Unlike David Moyes, we decided to give a youngster an opportunity tonight.
Yeah, how's it been going, Jake? All right, mate?
Yeah, it's been good. Yeah, good.
Good. It's nice to have a bit of professionalism on the show. It has to be said.
He was just slagging you off, actually, 5 minutes ago.
Everybody does. You're very welcome.
Right, listen, Jake, thank you very much for joining in. We'll get you back on at the very end of the show, okay? So at 9 o'clock, pop back on, and we'll see where we're at your channel. I know you're going to keep checking it during the show, but come back on at 9 o'clock, and we'll have another little chat then, okay?
Yeah. Cheers,
Thank you,
guys.
Jake.
Cheers, Gonzo.
Appreciate
Thanks.
See you, mate. See you soon.
Right, Gonzo, we're throwing you in the deep end. We're getting a guest on. It's James. How you doing?
How you doing, lads? You all right?
Hello, mate.
Good?
You're right.
Yeah. I was just ringing to see what you think of this. Antonio. Is Antonio going to be a legend like Di Canio was at West Ham if he does his outdoes his record as goals?
Well, I'll tell you
He's
what.
7 away from...
We know that, and we're doing a video about that. So me and Gonzo are going to keep Shatum on this topic. We want, and you guys in live chat, get your opinions in. Will Antonio be a West Ham legend when he beats Paul Di Canio's all-time Premier League goal-scoring record? What's your opinion, James? What are you saying?
If I'm honest, he scored the last goal at Upton Park. He scored the first goal at Stratford. He scored 4 goals in a match for us. He scored the first goal at Spurs in their new ground. He's a legend, mate. I'm sorry, but like, when he does beat Di Canio's record, because he will, he's only 7 goals away now. He's going to like. Di Canio was amazing, right? And when you say look at Antonio, you look at a player who's more hard-working, not as skillful as Di Canio, but just like he'd give everything. He'd play in any position, left, right, defence, anywhere you like. And I just think, he's definitely got to be up there, isn't he?
James, sorry.
No, you go.
James, do you think, though, I mean, good arguments there, certainly for him being classed as a legend. Do you think he's held with the same love and esteem and affection as Di Canio? I think I know the answer to that. And if not, why not?
I don't know. Really, it's hard to say. Like, he don't really get the applaudits because he can't do what Di Canio could do, if that makes sense. When you see Di Canio, he could change a game in a blink of an eye. The one thing with Antonio is he gives 100%, right, and he runs his heart out, and he'll play anywhere. Like, he's done it for us. How many times have we seen him play right back, left back? Like, he's a workhorse, and his goals show it, really. Like, to be 7 away from Di Canio's all-time record at West Ham in the Premier League, and let's be honest, he's been with us since 2015, I think. You know what I mean? So the league's got stronger since back when Di Canio come in '99. So to me, he's got to be up there, isn't he? And if he will beat Di Canio's record. And to me, you've got to look at him and you've got to put him in that same bracket. Like, I can't see how no one wouldn't. You know what I mean?
It's an interesting one. It's going to split the fan base. It's going to split his fan base. It's a slightly changed question. We've got a question here from you. And Stevie said, would you take 25 million for him in the summer? Now, bear in mind, you just told us he's a legend.
Yeah, but why would you want to sell him? Like, if anything, like, if we're going to be honest here, Ivan Toney is the man who is a replica of Antonio. He's built like Antonio. He plays the same way as Antonio. He's good in the air. And I would love it if West Ham go to Brentford in the summer, pay the money that they need to pay to get Ivan Toney in and work with Antonio. Antonio's still got another 3 years in him. Let's be honest. Like, if you keep him healthy, he's a great backup to have. So Yeah.
Is this part of the problem, James? It's some of what Gonzo just said. A Maverick player will always outshine a worker like Antonio. Do you think that sort of sums him up a little bit?
Yeah, bang on the money. Like, let's be honest, Di Canio could do things that would make you like your jaw drop, but then with Antonio, he's fully committed, 100%. Like, and he just it's an hard one to say, but for a man who's been at the club since 2015, he doesn't get like the representation that I think he deserves. Do you know what I mean? He scored some great goals for us in key games, and he's like that goal he scored at White Hart Lane when they went back there, and he was like bouncing up and down like a kangaroo. Like, that's why like that can go down in history. Like, you can see that, and we have got that over Tottenham for the rest of our lives. That we was the first team to beat them in their own ground. So to me, he has to be up there. Like, Di Canio. It's also what does it also. It's different generations. Like, my generation of growing up was Di Canio. The youngsters like Jake, who's just come on, his generation is Antonio. He's seeing Antonio up front. So it's a different. Like, people look at it differently, but for me, you got to put him up there, especially if he beats his record.
Good man. Listen, James, thank you very much. Appreciate it. Always keep in touch, and I'll see you soon.
Cheers, mate.
Right, before we get our next guest on, we'll have a little look, see how Jake's getting on. Like I said, if you haven't been watching the stream over the last 10 minutes, please do go subscribe to Jake's channel. Link is in the description below. Get it shared on social media as well. If you're on Facebook, Twitter, whatever, get it shared. Let's see how close we can get to him, to 1,000 subscribers by 9 p.m. There we are, 739. So it's got over 100 subscribers so far this show. Let's keep it going. Right, Gonzo, you ready for the next guest?
Yes, please.
Cameron, how you doing?
I'm all right, gents. Yourself?
Good,
Yeah,
thanks, mate.
Thank you.
Excellent. Tommy's just nicked some of my points.
Oh, that's all right. You can't. Don't worry about him. You crack on.
So it was, I don't want it to be the Mike Dean slander show, but I think VAR and the refs before VAR came in do need an overhaul, and I'd quite like VAR to adopt elements of the cricket's third umpire, video assistant, and rugby's assistant referee, because Tommy was saying, discussion should be key. We should be able to hear the thought process, and even if you think, oh, maybe I wouldn't have went for that, there is at least a crumb of accountability which we don't have for refs, because how you were saying on one of your videos, that could have been season crushing if that was 10 minutes earlier, 20 minutes earlier, and we didn't get it overturned. So, it might even hurry it along if they just rattle through what they think's wrong. It could speed it up and save fans waiting 3-4 minutes in the rain for a decision that, is a bit pants.
Gonzo, VAR talk.
Yeah, well, I didn't hear what Tommy said, but from what Cameron said, I got the gist, and I completely agree. Not only hurrying it up, so at the risk of repeating what Tommy may or may not have said, it's actually entertaining as well. So those 3 or 4 minutes, even if it is 3 or 4 minutes, they go an awful lot faster. And that dialogue between the guy up in the in the video suite, if you like, and the referee works so well. And I love my rugby, and there's nothing better really than there seems to be. Also, the guy in the guy up in the video suite is not omnipotent. He doesn't have the final say. I've seen many times in rugby. So the video official will say, "Come and have a look at this. We've got it," and they'll run it through a few times, do it in slow mo. And I've seen Nigel Owens or someone who'll go over And he'll even stop it halfway through. He'll say, "No, do you know what? I've had a look at that. That's not for me. I don't think there's anything in that, Joe." You know, and he will almost say, "Oh, we agreed we're going to go with that. Yeah, just carry on. Let's not look at it anymore." And I really like that. I like the fact that they're able to do that. That it doesn't seem to have to go through this whole process. I've seen it happen in rugby where it's almost. They've not even watched it a second time. The referee's well, he's taken one look as well. No, that's fine. And the funny thing is as well, it's bizarre that they go to these small little screens because actually generally in football grounds, you've got these whopping great massive screens there. And if you see in rugby, they'll actually just stand there and say, okay, no, nothing in that for me. Right, okay. Or, yeah, that's it. I don't need to see anymore. And it's, you feel part of it because you're watching it alongside the referee, and it actually creates its own oohs and ahs rather than this dead period, Cameron. I take it you watch the rugby or the cricket, do you?
I'm more of a cricket fan. I'll occasionally watch the rugby, but I do like
a cricketing Scotsman. A cricketing Scotsman.
Yes, my dad's English. That's why I'm a West Ham fan. So.
I thought you were just that's gone down in my criteria points here. That was a 10 out of 10 guess till you said that. I've just lost a point.
No, it's fine.
VAR.
But yeah, it was just more. I think it was the Liverpool West Ham game just the season before VAR came in and they got that offside goal. And I was screaming and shouting for VAR to come in, get it in now. And it's just been a bit of a disaster because I feel they should have had like a new wave of refs specifically trained in VAR, and because there was so many howlers that season, I recall. And what they've done is they just slightly retrained the dinosaurs that were on the pitch making these decisions, and then put them in a room and given them almost complete authority. And sometimes you can't teach an old dog a new trick.
Great point. Great point, by the way.
And then we criticise it, and then they seem to make the rules somehow even more worse, like the offside rule and the sleeve. And it feels as though fans are held in complete contempt, and I feel the PGMOL are just like stubbornly content being the pantomime villain of English football.
Brilliant. Right, listen, Cameron, sorry we need to end it there. We've got the guests lined up, as you can see in the background. Listen, thank you very much for coming on. Massively appreciate you. Keep in touch, and hopefully we'll see you again in the future shows. Take care.
Guys.
Cheers.
Cheers, mate.
Take care, you too.
You too, mate.
We'll do our best. Right, Gonzo, thick and fast. You ready for the next one?
Absolutely.
Dave, how you doing?
Very well, thanks. How are you, gents? You all right?
Good, thanks, Dave.
Same as I was when the last guy asked, but
I'm slightly better.
Yes, I was until he announced that his father was English. Then it come back down to where I was prior to seeing the Scotsman on there. But anyway, Dave, what are you come to talk about tonight?
So yeah, a couple of words that have kind of haunted West Ham for quite a while. Not Mike Dean, which will probably come as a bit of a reassuring statement, but yeah, form and consistency. So yeah, we were all having conversations, weren't we? Like we beat Palace and we were on for Champions League and everything was wonderful. And then obviously what happened at Liverpool, we were all feeling a bit down from that, but we kind of had to remember a little bit that it was, the Premier League champions, and it sort of should have grounded us a little bit. We then went on to beat Villa in quite a good fashion, I will say, and yeah, everyone was having the same conversation. Oh, we're gonna be back on for Champions League. And then we go and get a further point. We increase our points total against Fulham, and it's all doom and gloom. Now I understand. Obviously, you've got Antonio's. He's pulled up a little bit, and there was that fiasco with the red card, and we should really have gotten 3 points from that game. But I think we kind of need to remember a little bit that we do have an informed team, arguably the most consistent West Ham team we've seen in a very, very long time. And this is probably one of the best seasons we had, certainly in the new stadium, but this is one of the best seasons we've had in a very, very long time. So, yeah, I think there's an awful lot to be positive about, even though it does get a bit squeaky. I think we'll feel an awful lot better after tomorrow because we're worried about the striker situation. We're worried about, midfield. I think Jesse Lingard fixes a lot of those problems, but we obviously can't use him tomorrow night. So we're looking at a very depleted squad until, we get Man United out of the way, and then we should be all right again.
Does it concern you, though? You just said there that we're looking at a very depleted squad. We're only missing 2 players.
Well, we're not. That's the thing. We're 2 players down on what we had, but the squad was never complete enough. It was a very small squad, and I don't need to explain that. It's the centre mid and it's the striker positions that we are a little bit tighter on. But I do think Jesse Lingard fixes a lot of those problems. Honestly, I think we've got Conor Coventry potentially coming through. We've got Mipu, who I don't know if he's gonna break through or not. I actually like Yarmolenko up front, and I know you'll disagree on that one. I know obviously young Jake earlier will disagree on that one. But I think Yarmolenko up front has got the talent. He's not rapid, but he's got the skill and he's got a finish on him. So there's a lot of doom and gloom, I think, surrounding some of our upcoming fixtures and what we're going to do with our season. I think our season's already been a success. It's just I really want to see us kind of pick up a few points where we can. I'd like to see us really attack tomorrow and try and get a bit of a cup run on the go and see where we go.
Do you think we'll win? How are you feeling tomorrow night?
I think we'll win every game this season. I think we can beat anyone, but I don't know. I'm not sure. I think it'll be a 1-goal game. I'd like to think we'll win, but who knows, man.
Yeah, does this sort of this comment here by Guy says he understands when Moyes want to save his money for the summer, but a foreign loan signing would have been better, low cost, and give us another option. But what did you make of the transfer thing? Because you've come on, you're speaking quite sort of positive and calmly and stuff. So I was intrigued to see what your opinion was with the decision not to try and get in another striker.
Yeah, I think we would have, if we could have got a striker in on loan to help out. I think it would have been a bit better. I think it would have calmed down a lot of people. But like I said, we've got 5 or 6 players that could potentially play as a striker. Why loan in someone else who's not a perfect fit when we've got 4 or 5 other players that are not a perfect fit? Do you know what I mean? If the right player wasn't there to buy, he's not there to loan.
Brilliant. Gonzo, any questions for Dave?
No, it's not questions. I do want to just sort of agree with what Dave said at the start there, which is I've been arguing for some time now that aside from Man City, we're almost the only team with any consistency. Everybody else seems to be very, very streaky, and we're not. Our season has been punctuated by a defeat here or there, but we do tend to bounce back, and we are very, very consistent. So yeah, I totally agree with that, mate.
Okay.
Happy days. Dave, anything else you'd like to add?
No, it was Rebecca, wasn't it? It's on the forum channel. It was sort of put out there. Would you rather go for top 4 or go for go for Europe or go for the FA Cup? For me, they're the same thing. I don't think we're going to get top 4. I think if we're going to get European football, it's going to be the Europa League, and you get that from the FA Cup anyway.
Yeah, but it's a hypothetical question, though. Top 4 or FA Cup. It's not a realistic one. What would you pick? Hypothetically, play the game, Dave. You can't just come on here with your. You can't be realistic from the start to the end of your calling. This is way too calm and composed. So let's get a little bit wild. Let's get.
Mark Noble lifts a trophy at the end of the season. It's got to be, isn't it?
Fantastic. Listen, Dave, thank you very much for calling on. Don't be a stranger in future, and we shall catch up with you soon, Dave. Thank you.
Right.
Cheers, mate.
Right, and before we get our next guest on, just keep on subscribing to the even to Jake's channel. A couple of you in the live chat said they can't get it to work. If you search West Ham Unofficial in YouTube, you will find it. The link is there. If it's not working, search West Ham Unofficial in the YouTube search bar and subscribe, and let's see how far we can get. Let's see how close we can get to the 1,000 tonight. We know we're not going to do it, but obviously there'll be people watching us on Tuesday, so on and so forth. Keep on subscribing. Let's see how close we can get him. Anyway, Gonzo got another guest. There might be another one coming on. We've got room for one more guest, I think. So if you're watching live, you want to come on, get in touch with us on Twitter at ChatHammers. At ChatHammers. There it is. It's on your screen now. Get in touch, and Charlie will send you a link. Right, next guest. How you doing?
I'm doing well. How are you two doing after the draw against Fulham?
Not bad, thanks, mate. Yeah. It seems like yesterday's news now. I'm looking forward to tomorrow, really.
Yeah.
I'm what have you come to talk about tonight?
I just wanted to make a couple points about tomorrow's game. I just wanted to say some things and see if you agreed or disagreed with them, basically. The first of these being, would you double up on Rashford like we did to Grealish with Kufau and Fredericks? I remember in the previous game when we played against Man United, when Rashford came on, he tormented us, basically. He was in on goal 3 or 4 times. And I don't know whether it would just be a good idea to return that double up option, if you like. Would it be a smarter idea, especially considering we're going to have to counter-attack against Man United, and Ryan Fredericks is perfect for that.
What do you think? You give us your opinion first.
So I was of the opinion, yes, let's go with that double up option. Then I had a think, and I thought Alex Telles usually plays in the cups for Man United, and last time we played Man United, Telles did play, and I don't know if you remember, but Bowen tore him a new one, basically. And I'd just play Bowen just for the fact that Telles defensively, he's like a sheep. He's poor at defending.
I think you don't know if Rashford's going to start, though. That's the thing. We don't know what Ollie's going to do. Even Man United fans don't know what Ollie's going to do. He may start, but he may not. He might start Dan James or someone out on the left. He might completely rotate. And then our whole game plan is based around one player. And the problem is, with Aston Villa, I think you can stop Jack Grealish and you stop half of the Villa attacks. With Man United, they'll say, it's all right, you deal with Rashford, we'll just go through Bruno Fernandes, we'll just go through Mason Greenwood, we'll just go down the other side. So I think Man United are too good. They're a level above Aston Villa. That would be my concern.
Yeah, that is a good point. The other point I wanted to make, if Antonio wasn't available tomorrow, would you rather start Odubeko or Yarmolenko?
I don't want to see Yarmolenko up front. I don't want to see Yarmolenko up front. Just to come back on what you said, it is worth bearing in mind that we were playing with wing backs when Rashford tore Soufal apart in that sense, and maybe there's a little bit more defensive solidity now. I think, and you'd probably have that. But I think there's good arguments for both. I think that the doubling up is a good argument, but also the Rashford, the Telles v Bowen is also a very good one. But yeah, no Yarmolenko up front for me, please.
What about yourself? Would you rather see Meepo?
Well, I think you both know that I have great belief in Odubeko. It's quite a funny situation, actually, because I think out of the 3 strikers at the club, Antonio is the worst finisher, yet he's the best striker. It's a funny situation, but that's where we are. But personally, I'd definitely start Odubeko tomorrow. I think we need pace, and Odubeko does bring pace. Let's be honest, Yarmolenko can't really run anymore. He's a one-trick pony. Sorry, Yarmo, if you're listening, but let's definitely start Odubeko tomorrow.
What about what was I going to say? Oh yeah, going forward, obviously not for tomorrow night, but just goes asking, what about Lingard as a potential striker option going forward?
Personally, I think that Lingard would be wasted up front. I know Odubeko has said that he said to me that he's got a great link up with Lingard in training. I think maybe both of them could work well in a match, but you never know with Odubeko obviously being so young at the moment. But personally, I think Lingard would definitely be wasted if he was to play up front. I just think he was so good in midfield against Aston Villa. Yes, he did play like Casper the Ghost against Fulham, but I definitely think he's wasted up front.
Obviously, Odebeko's telling you quite a lot. He's obviously training. He's training with the first team, every day or periodically? How's that working?
Well, I don't know if it's every day. I think it is every day, though. Obviously, he still plays the under-23 matches. But in terms of training, I do think he's with the first team every day. which would only build his confidence, which is why I don't get when people say that David Moyes doesn't rate Odubeko. You've got to remember he's only 18 and hardly any 18-year-old strikers are in training for the first team, let alone getting on the bench.
So you're happy that Moyes is seeing him almost every day?
Yeah, and another thing is Odubeko only got back from a hamstring injury a month or 2 months ago. He's only played 2 games since then due to the COVID outbreak in the under-23s. So you've got to build back his match fitness before you throw him straight in the deep end, in my opinion. But if it's instead of Yarmolenko, then I'll do it.
Do you get, I mean, you're obviously speaking to him regularly. Do you get the sense he is enthusiastic? I'll use an example. Every time I hear Ben Johnson speak, Ben Johnson is quite comfortable with his role at West Ham. He's quite comfortable that he will get his chance in the future. He's happy with his role at the club. Slightly different. He's been here since he was 10. Do you get the impression that he's motivated and feels he's going to get a chance, or do you feel you're speaking to someone that might be a little bit frustrated that he's not had a chance yet?
It's a difficult question to answer because I don't want to say exactly what he's thinking because I don't know exactly what he's thinking and I don't want to put words in his mouth.
Sure.
But I do think that he definitely feels confident that he will get a chance. Maybe he might be a little bit frustrated that it's not come yet, but I think he definitely has belief in the fact that it will come sooner or later. Absolutely.
And I would like to say that is, you are not putting words in his mouth. Those are your thoughts, not anything he said to you, just in case anyone wants to run with that as a headline or a clickbait. I might for tomorrow's morning video. But no, I'm joking.
Brilliant, mate. Well, listen, thank you very much for your call in. We appreciate it as always.
Thank you.
Cheers, mate.
Cheers. Right, we might have one more guest joining us in a minute as our last guest before we get our last guest on. It's already prearranged. Let's take some comments from the live chat. This is your show. We don't want questions, no questions, comments. We want your opinions on West Ham. It can be about tomorrow night. It can be about Fulham. Anything goes with West Ham. Get it in the live chat. We'll get them on the screen and start reading them out. Right. Mark says he fears that Martin Noble will be played in the number 10 position tomorrow night. And then Tom says, FA Cup for him this season. There are questions regarding the amount of matches we play already without the European football. If we have the depth of squad next season, then Europe all the way, possibly both. And then there was another one. Abdullah, no questions. Abdullah, we just said no questions. Thoughts on Lanzini off the right? So
I've got an opinion. There you go. As a Man United fan, Lingard is not good as a striker. How about that?
He's not really played up front for Man United very much, though. He played up front a little bit when he was on loan at Birmingham, but that was quite a while ago now. Though.
I don't even remember him at Birmingham. Well, why would I? I don't watch Birmingham.
He had half a season. He had a season in the Championship. Funny enough, when David Moyes went to Man U, he put him out on loan, and that's why when people said, "Oh, boy, Moyes really looked at my Man United," I thought he sent him out on loan. He didn't even look at him. He didn't even play him. I know he would have known him. He would have monitored his progress, but I just thought it was funny. But he had a season in the Championship. He was somewhere then Birmingham. I think he was at Cardiff, maybe somewhere like that. He went there, then he went to Birmingham for the second half. And credit says it has to be Fornals in the 10, Janet Bourne on the right, Ben Ram on the left, and Mipo or the Beko up front. Right, so we'll get our next guest on and have a little chat with him. James, how you doing?
I'm good. How are we doing, lads?
All right, thanks, James.
Still the same as the last guy, and the last guy. I'm
getting better as the evening goes on. Don't pay no attention to the grumpy one over there.
I'm Scottish. I'm sorry.
I'm 25% Scottish, so.
Well, you're not as good as Cameron, but you're.
Cameron was 75% Scottish.
Yeah, I'm 25% Scottish, 75% Yorkshire. So.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Anyway, what you come to chat about tonight?
Well, we've mentioned VAR a few times in this, but one of the guests earlier was talking about consistency and form. I want to add in a little point to that, 2 words as well. Deja vu. I feel like 15-16 has a lot of comparisons to 19-20 in terms of performances and the points tallied so far. But the other thing at this stage of the season that is particularly somewhat concerning is the lack of January investment and the lack of, competent investment could cause West Ham to drop. Because if you're looking 15-16, we were fourth and pursuing Champions League. We ended up finishing 7th because we didn't get the right signings in. It's kind of got the same feel right now.
Expand. Keep talking. Expand.
Okay, it's okay. I expand. So January, we said we needed a striker, we needed a midfielder. I said last week when I came on, we just got Lingard in, and Moyes said that he was happy to work with what he got. After transfer window closed, we had Liverpool, which is understandable losing to them because they are the current champions. After that, we got Fulham, and the Fulham game was one particular concern because the lack of depth started to show in the team. And it's showing in the sense that, like I say, if players get injured, we are a bit stuffed. Antonio is having to be rationed because he's the only recognised striker. So we're having to budget our time with him to make sure his hamstring doesn't go. Moyes says he's fatigued, which is concerning. We don't have, in terms of depth, we don't have really any big game changers to come off of the bench. Yes, we've got Fornals and Lanzini, but we don't have another striker we can put on. And we have to end up putting on Yarmolenko all the time because of that.
What would you like to see done tomorrow night as sort of a repercussion of the lack of striker coming in January? Let's just, well, the options there. You can have a fatigued Antonio, or you got to try something different. What would you like seeing done up front?
Everybody's saying Odebeko gets the start. And the only reason why people are saying that is because he is a recognised striker. It's his natural position. And people wouldn't trust Yarmolenko going on his own up top. Starting Odebeko in a game against Man United in the FA Cup is very risky, but it's probably the only thing that the manager would be able to do if Yarmolenko doesn't go up top. So it's a bit of a difficult situation. Start Yarmo, start Odebeko, or risk a fatigued Antonio. That's going to be one of the biggest problems tomorrow. It's a big decision that Moyes has got to make. Bit of a dilemma in a way, but he's got to consider importance of the FA Cup over who does he rest in time for the next Premier League game.
Yeah, I completely agree. You're splitting the chat here, James. You split it right down the middle, I think. Abdullah says that Moyes is at fault for the transfers as well. Pellegrini can get big backing with worth points, and surely Moyes can demand a little bit better. Gary agrees with you. He says this season been great, much to enjoy, but it's very fragile given the squad depth. However, another Gary says that he disagrees. We could have beat Liverpool if we had the right mindset. Jack says that he doesn't agree with you. This season has a different vibe. We're stronger at the back and have real strong players in midfield. And then someone's asking if you're Sullivan Jr.
No.
you do look like a bit like Dave Jr. You do look a bit like Dave Sullivan Jr. actually.
Does.
Do I?
Yeah,
a bit, yeah. If you'd have come on here and said 25% West Ham, 75% Arsenal, you would have had me. I mean, I really would have thought that was it.
If you said 75% Sullivan, I would have believed you because that's his height of a real man. He's 75% height of a real man, David Sullivan. So yeah. you got me as well. But yeah, people, you've completely split the chat with that. Duvet Dancer says you can play Yarmolenko up front if you have someone with pace near him, but we don't. Nick is saying that all of us are seeing this as a one-season blip, but he thinks Moyes can do this more and use this season as a building block for what he wants to do, and he loves it. Brian says he'd have Bowen up front. I mean, you not consider that option. Could you not play Jared Bowen up front, James?
Oh yeah. You could play Jared Bowen up front actually. Yeah, to be fair, he's been one of those players I think that's been a little off pace compared to how he was at the start of the season as of late. But I'd still stick him up top. He can go striker. He's a goal scorer at Hull City. He's been like that for us in an up front role. So yeah.
And his grandfather's got a farm in Yorkshire,
Herefordshire.
I got you there.
It's the same thing, isn't it?
And Credit says that I agree.
Maybe.
I agree with transfers, but he thinks Moyes will go big in the summer. And then, Kevin's saying that he's a Yorkie as well. David agreeing with Nick. We've got the bedrock for top half every season if David Moyes stays. See, the thing is, what I will do, and I'm going to defend James here, because James isn't saying we won't finish in the top half every season. He's just saying that there was an opportunity in the January, which I'm putting words in your mouth, a bit like what West Ham Online didn't do about me, Paul DeBecco, is that you're worried that we've not capitalised on what has been an opportunity. I agree with you. I think there is got a little bit similar to the 15-16 season where we got Emenike in when we were in Champions League football, went and got Emenike, and I think it's a bit similar again, really. Doesn't mean it's a bad season. 15-16 wasn't a bad season. You're just a bit... But I get it. Can I get your score prediction tomorrow night? Final thoughts, James, and your score prediction for tomorrow night, please.
Okay, for prediction tomorrow night, I'm either going to say it goes to overtime or West Ham narrowly scrape it. It's all tomorrow Yeah, and I've just seen the comment there. Win tomorrow will be the best. It will be one of the best of the season tomorrow. I think this is the major obstacle that we need to overcome in the FA Cup, because we've had it for 2 lower league teams already. We beat Man United, we get an extra confidence boost out of this. Again, it depends on the team spirit, how we go up against Man United. My thing with them is I think they could rest players like Fernandes and bring them on in the second half when they really need them, and then they punish us there like they did in the league game. So I don't know. I want to say 1-1, it goes to extra time. I don't know who would get it in there.
Brilliant. Right, listen, James, thank you very much for coming on. Massively appreciate it, as always.
Thank you.
Cheers,
Take
mate.
care. Right, going to get our first guest on, who's also our last guest. Right, let's get him back. Jake, how you doing?
I'm well. I'm Geo Gonzo. How are you? Well, only spoke to you half hour ago.
Yeah,
I'm a lot better. Geo's getting worse. Thanks, Jack. He's getting a little bit moody. To be fair, he is.
Well, Jake had to stand in for you because you were late to the show.
I was.
Jake, have you ever turned up late to your own video?
No, I haven't, Gonzo, to be honest.
Oh, blimey! Hello.
Sean's getting tired. I love this. Right.
Listen, time is long, my friend. It will happen.
Right, I've got a question, Jake. How many times have you checked your subscribers in the last half hour to hour?
Oh, well, I've looked at it 2 times in the last 2 minutes, and I've looked at it about 10 times. We're perilously close to 800, I've just seen.
Good. Charlie, have you got that funny screen thing? I can't see it. Here we go. There's that funny screen. There we are. 799. Right. Okay, we're going to do the 800. Get subscribed to Jake's channel, West Ham Unofficial. The link is in the description. It's in the live chat. If you can't click on any of them, go to the YouTube search bar and type in West Ham Unofficial and get subscribed. Check out the Hammers Chat Twitter, whatever. It's everywhere. Let's get Jake as close to 1,000 as possible. It's a good feeling, isn't it, Jake?
It is. Yeah. Thanks very much, guys. That's gave it a massive push towards the 1,000.
What are you going to do when it reaches 1,000?
Yeah, because in the live chat earlier, I saw your dad say it's going to cost him a lot of money when you hit 1,000. Is there a deal?
Oh, well, not that I'm aware of, but I'll take the deal, whatever it is at the moment.
Oh, don't say you'll take the deal, whatever it is. No. You need to
Moyes?
Exactly what the deal is first. Okay.
All right.
That's a David Moyes transfer market mentality. I'll take whatever I can get.
Dad, what was this deal that I had mentioned? There was talk of money, lots of money.
Money, new webcam.
Just remember, Pellegrini got 100 million out of Sullivan. Remember that and use that mentality when negotiating with your dad. Okay, got to use that mentality. Right, let's have some questions for Jake in the live chat. Get your questions in for Jake. The next 5-10 minutes is Jake time. Who's your ham of the year so far?
Oh, it's got to be Bonner, isn't it? It's got Soucek. Honestly, there's too many to choose from this year. We're in unknown territory. Bonner, Soucek, Dawson, Big Craig Dawson. But it's got to be Soucek.
Gary says that we need to pop on your channel. We've not really been invited, to be honest. Just saying.
No, I've not.
Just saying. I'm a little bit offended, Gonzo, but
I'm not. Hey, Jake plugged me the other day. He said Gonzo's on at 1:30.
I did.
He came on and said nice things about some of my videos. Before we went live, he was talking. He said, I was watching the preview earlier. I thought this boy knows how to butter people up.
Oh, you've got to have a bit of flannel. You've got to know a bit of flannel. There's no doubt about it.
He's got all the tricks of the trade. Andy says, football or girlfriends? Is your dad watching? Yeah, good man. I think your dad's watching.
How old are you, Jake? Sorry?
13.
13. Good man.
Jake, if you can go to one away game, what is it?
Well, I've always wanted to go to Man United. Went a couple of years ago. Guys, that's tough. I'd love to go to Spurs and beat them.
Oh, I was hoping for a curveball like Dortmund. European football mentality stuff. Tommy says, where do you think we'll finish?
7th.
How do you say that name, Jake?
Oh, Jesus Christ.
I
don't think that's it. We'll call him that, though. Jesus Christ says, who do you fear from Man United?
Rashford.
Brian, what's your favourite West Ham shirt?
That one there.
The 15-16 one. Brilliant. That's my favourite one as well. Robert Gates says, Jake, who's the best player you've seen live but isn't a West Ham player?
Crikey. No, that's not who they're called. Well, I've seen... Oh, Christ, this is on the spot here. Well, Rashford was superb when we went out to United. Yeah.
Have you seen Man City play? You must have seen Man City.
No, I haven't.
No. I was going to say, you can use your Jesus answer for that if you want. Barry says you look like a young Mark Noble.
Ooh,
well, it's funny actually because Luke, after 3 hammers, looks like a mature Mark Noble.
I mean, a hairless Mark Noble.
It's not for me to say. I can't comment on anyone's hair. I can assure you, Christ.
Yeah, me neither. I'm getting on a bit as well. Jake, appreciate your hair when you got it. Dave Goodyear says, what do you think of Soufal?
Love him. Absolutely love him.
You're supposed to say you think he's a right back. That's the type of sarcastic answers we give on Hammers Chat. Jake, what do you think of Soufal?
Oh, great. He's a right back. That's
brilliant. Fantastic answer. Abdullah says, who's your favourite ever player?
Well, watch live. It would have to be Poyet. Yeah, it's got to be. I'm afraid.
When did you start watching Hammers Chat? It's not a trick question because there's a question in the chat that sort of has a bit of context. When did you start watching Hammers Chat?
It was funny because I was watching West Ham Fan TV back just as we went into lockdown, and you were on Ryan's on the social, and then from then. Right.
So basically, Gonzo, before he has his shed, Gonzo used to sit what everyone called in the toilet. It was actually under the stairs, right? But everybody thought he was in the toilet. So basically, Mark was saying, "What's it like?" Moved into Gonzo's old cupboard because Gonzo used to have all the merchandise behind him. Now he doesn't. Now he doesn't care. Now he's given up with the West Ham stuff. He's just got stuff going on. Right. Anyway, listen. There's lots of questions coming in for you. You're a very popular boy. And Credit says the more realistic striker you'd like to sign this summer.
Dear.
Irons United says, what are you drinking?
Nothing. There's nothing in the glass.
You were drinking something, but I like that sarcastic answer. He's learning.
Well, no, that's a plug for a drink. What he's doing is he's gone all diva-ish. He's got to 800 subscribers. And now he's saying, folks, where's my drink? I'm here doing a live broadcast and you're not charging my glass. Get me a drink now. I reckon Jake's nasty, right? When the camera goes, oh, lovely. Oh, he's a nice lad, Jake, and all the rest of it. I bet when we end this, it will say, what's this? Where's my drink? You expect me to be a professional. You expect me to go on camera and be nice and talk about West Ham, and you can't even put any blackberry and apple in my glass. That's what happens.
Exactly.
Was it blackcurrant and apple, or was it the berries and cherries? What did you have going on?
I think it was berries and cherries, actually, wasn't you?
Gonzo's favourite.
Oh, that's the one, mate. That's the one.
I ain't got any Pringles, though, Geo. Gonzo, I ain't got any Pringles.
Don't you worry, mate. Neither have I. I've eaten them all.
He knows it. Right, Shin says, what position do you play?
I used to be a striker.
Here's a drink.
Here's my drink.
Quite right too. Come on, Dad, for goodness sake, you were slow then.
Look, we've got, what's going on here? What's going on here?
I don't know. Well, you're asking for another one. He wants two.
Guy's asking what your favourite subject in school is.
PE, but not rugby. Is Charlie in the background?
Yeah.
Can we bring him on for 2 secs?
Yeah, we can. Fucking hell. Right, me and Gonzo just disappear, will we? Let's get him in the stream.
Hello.
Unmute yourself.
I was eating. I didn't want to be rude. Hello. How are you?
Hello. What was for tea?
That's a great question, right? So I haven't finished. So we've had sweet potato wedges, and I've currently got a toad in the hole in the oven, which is going to be ready soon. 11 minutes we've got until that's ready, and I'm gonna have a grand old time. Thank you for asking, Jake. I appreciate that.
And
to Jake, just quickly, please, just while you're here, please. Thank you. Sorry, I interrupted you. Carry on.
And I mean, one of us had to beat Adam Franco, didn't we?
Okay, right. Well, okay, Jake. Okay, this is hot. Right, no one. Jake, right? Geo, remove him. Remove him. No. Remove him. He's taking shots at me. He's taking shots.
What's he talking about? I don't understand.
I don't know. Anyway, that's that sorted. That's that cleared up. Harry says the best goal you've seen at an Olympic Stadium.
For Felipe Anderson, was it against Crystal Palace? Curving ball into the top corner.
Actually saying, if you had 100 million to buy as many players as you want, who are you buying?
Well, Messi, Ronaldo. No. I'd go. Oh, well, we got to get a striker. I'd get. Oh, who's a good central midfielder? I'd take. Oh God, this is hard, guy. God, honestly. Striker, I'd take. I'd love to take someone like Adam Armstrong. To be fair, I'd love to take Marcus Rashford. That would be ideal. Marcus Rashford.
Right, got plenty more questions for Jake coming up. Keep getting them in. Make sure you have subscribed to his channel. I'm not going to shut up about it. The link's in the description. The link's in the live chat. Search West Ham Unofficial. I can see what he's on now. We'll get that up on the screen a little bit. We'll keep flying through these questions still because Jake will get to his bed soon. His dad's probably thinking, what are these Hammers Chat boys doing?
The amount of sugar he's drinking now.
Isaac says, did you ever get bantered in school when you told people you support West Ham?
Well, that happens. Thank God we're not at school because that used to happen on a regular basis. And I've got lots of mates that are Arsenal fans. It's typical that I can't see them when they're down there.
Yeah. Hey, quite right.
Right, let me just keep scrolling. This guy obviously thinks you're in the know. Will there be any more Czech players coming to West Ham?
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either. Gonzo doesn't know anything. He just YouTube people and pretend he knows them.
Is in Europe, is it?
Brilliant. Right, calm down. West Ham Online says, do you think Creswell can defend?
Christ. I prefer him in a back five than as a left back, but he is doing very well this season. So yes, he can this season. I think he's got better. Fantastic.
Right, let me just keep scrolling. I'm looking for the next one. Massive Fitness, best Disney film.
Don't watch Disney films.
Oh, what big call. Big.
I tell you what. The Lion King. There you go.
Well, I'm about to say, listen, me and Gonzo will go first here. Me and Gonzo will take down the alpha male tone a little bit. Mine's Fox and the Hound.
It's a great one. What a great choice. What a great choice.
I love it. There's only two films that's made me cry in my life: Fox and Hound.
Oh, that's a good one.
And then Marley and Me. Have you ever seen Marley and Me, Jake?
I haven't. No, I don't watch Disney
Do you like
films.
dogs?
No, I don't like dogs.
Oh, you might be okay then. Basically, the dog dies, and that's it.
I thought you were quoting Snatch then, Joe. What's Marley? I guess it's about dogs. I don't know. It's not a Disney film. I take it.
No.
All right. I don't know. Lady and the Tramps, classic. Sorry, not Lady and the Tramp. That is a classic. What do you say? Fox and the Hound. They great friends. They grow apart as they grow up because, of course, a fox can't be a mate with a hound. I quite liked. I quite liked the modern one. I thought Toy Story was a hell of a film, by the way.
What the Pixar film?
Toy Story, yes.
Yeah, the Pixar film. It's Disney.
But Disney Pixar. Disney owned Pixar.
Yeah, but it's meaning Disney, not Pixar, isn't it? It's going for Disney.
Well, Jungle Book's pretty cool. Jungle Book's good.
You're sticking with Lion King, Jake?
I am.
Right. Louis says one player from each team in the bottom three right now. Who are you taking? Right, Sheffield United.
Sheffield United, John Lundstrom.
West Brom.
Robert Snodgrass.
That was a tap in. You'll get up with that one. And Fulham.
Loftus Cheek, even though he's on loan, but I'm going to have it anyway.
I'll let you have that. Gonzo, Sheffield United.
Oh, I know one.
Oh, actually, the right back's all right, isn't he?
Which one?
The keeper.
Bogle.
Yeah, Bogle. No, you're not having Ramsdale. Ramsdale's awful, Jake. Nah, you've been doing so well tonight. Oh, you've let yourself down with that opinion. I'll tell you that. He's awful. I think Bogle's all right. I don't mind Bogle. I can go with that. I think they've not got many players. Gonzo West Brom.
Pereira.
See, I'm gonna do what Jake's done and cheat and say Conor Gallagher. I know he's on loan from Chelsea, but listen, Jake bet the rules first. So I'm just gonna run with it. And Fulham.
I'll go with the geezer.
Anguissa.
The geezer, yeah.
Yeah, that's who I'm going with as well. I'll go with that one too. Right. Let me just keep scrolling. I'll keep scrolling. Whoa, chat. Stop. Jake, do you not hear when you're scrolling this thing? It just pulls you to the bottom when you're not finished. Anyway, Hardy says, Geo or Gonzo?
Oh, I'm sorry, Gonzo, but you were late and I had to step in, so it's got to be Geo.
What? Oh, my goodness.
Yes!
Fair enough.
Do you think Ben Rama is better than him at football?
Better than her. Better than West Ham Online.
Yeah. I think it's just best to say yes. Jack says, do you think we can get Danny Ings in the summer?
Well, to make Gio happy, I'll go yes.
He knows his stuff. He knows his stuff. Best manager so far, Bilic, Pellegrini or Moyes?
Oh, well, it's the way you look at it. I mean, Bilic was exciting football. Moyes is getting us up there, so I'm afraid it's got to be Moyes as much as I love Bilic.
Ben says, DC or Marvel?
Marvel, because I've no idea what DC means.
That's Superman and Batman and that. It's different comics, different set of comics.
I'm not into this stuff. I'm not into this
neither,
stuff.
Jake. It's geeky stuff, isn't it?
It's just West Ham, that's all I know.
Yeah, we'll stick with football. We'll leave the geeky stuff like Marvel, DC, and Star Wars for Gonzo.
No.
Hold on. I don't know about comics. Star Wars, yeah, come on. I don't know the difference. I know the difference. I don't know about that, but come on. Star Wars, quality.
Josh says, your best musical artist?
I thought it was called Talk West Ham, best musical artist.
Anything goes here.
Anything goes.
I'm surprised there's not been food questions yet. But
I love food. Best musical artist, it's got to be, what's his name with the curly hair? Lewis Capaldi.
I thought he was going to go Mick Hucknall.
Right. Let me just let me just keep scrolling slowly. People keep repeating the questions, you see, but I've answered some of them. Gary says, Masuaku, Jake, does he still get in the team? I don't think his second name's Jake. I think it's just Arthur Masuaku.
That's right.
Masuaku, I love him, but it's up to Moyes really. Does he want to go back to a back five? I mean, in a back four, there's no place for Masuaku in there, but it just depends whether he goes for a back five or not.
David Dancer says, what's your favourite sandwich?
I'll tell you what, I like a nice coronation chicken, but it's got to be proper chicken, but I do like a chocolate spread sandwich.
What do you mean? Hold on. What's not proper chicken?
Oh, proper melt in the mouth, lovely. I don't know what I just did.
We know what he means. Ben says, Chinese or Indian?
Oh, I just love food. Chinese or Indian? Chinese.
Yes. Gonzo is trembling with rage right now.
I am a trembling with rage, yeah.
Pete says, favourite crisp?
Quavers, the normal quavers.
Gonzo's furious.
No,
Whose idea was it to get this spoiled?
Should have said Pringles.
They're not even my favourite. Yes, you're fine. You're not even my favourite.
Four Sheezy says, what's your Nando's order?
I've never been to Nando's.
Oh, right. Where's your dad?
No drink. He don't even feed.
My mouth is dry as anything, and I'm sat here with two mouths. There's nothing in these things. There is
his mouth is dry. His tummy is empty because he's never been to Nando's.
No agreement for 1,000 subscribers.
I'll tell you what we up to. Let's have a look. Is Charlie still in the background?
No.
842. 856. See, you're too quick. You are.
We'll tell you what, Jake. When you hit 1,000 subscribers, me and Gonzo will send your dad a few pennies. Get yourself a Nando's. Get yourself a Nando's from Hammer's Chat. All right, that's your thank you for co-hosting because Gonzo's bloody late to his own video. All right, so to say thank you.
I was eating a Nando's and some quavers.
Was it nice? Delicious, I bet you. Was it delicious?
Yeah.
Really, really, really good.
Oh, these questions are quality.
Yeah, it's just what you get, Hammer's Chat. Anything goes, I'm afraid. There was a question about Mark Noble, actually. Does he still have... What do you think about Mark Noble at the minute as a player and going on to become... It wasn't that one. I think
that was my old man, to be fair.
It was your old man. This is why we don't let Gonzo touch the button.
I've never even seen him on a video before. What's he doing? This is what happens, you see. Don't worry. He's not. I was the same as you. He never brought me a drink either.
If your dad turned up at the start of the video, he wouldn't have seen you on the video either.
That's true. He probably wasn't here at the start either.
Jake, Mark Noble, has he got a future at West Ham?
Oh, not as a player, no. We can't go on for much longer, I think. Well, I mean, he's a bench warmer, as much as I hate to say it. He is at the moment, and obviously love him to bits. I mean, in his prime, I can't remember it. That's a bit weird to say. But...
It's not. It's true. It's not weird, is it? It's true.
What's your favourite topping on a pizza?
Oh, would I like a barbecue chicken pizza? Oh, God.
This boy! Oh, he's ticking all the boxes. Are you Scottish?
Are you related?
No.
Crikey.
Oh, you almost had it. You almost had it. He's a 9 out of 10. He's there, just there. Did we do your favourite West Ham player of all time? I don't think we did we?
Oh, boy, the favourite, my best player I've seen live's got to be Payet, but I mean, it's got to be favourite West Ham player. What are we talking? Who I've seen live or from...
No, just always.
Oh, Paolo Di Canio.
What about your current one? This team today?
In this team today, I mean, it's got to be Thomas Soucek. As much as I'm the biggest fan of Ben Rama, it's got to be Thomas Soucek at the moment.
Thank you to Dave. He's put a £5 into the Nando's fund. You can get yourself a bit of rice or something with that. They do some sides when you finally get onto the Nando's website. When your father gives you privileges, you can have
spicy rice, piri chips.
Sounds good.
Right. Terry says Iron Brew. He's spelt brew incorrectly. This is a pet hate of mine. He's incorrectly spelt.
You carry on, Terry. I like it spelt like that.
That's the fake Iron Brew. That's supermarket Iron Brew. That's not the good stuff. Bars is spelled BRU, important, and iron is spelled IRN. He's misspelled both words there. But anyway, I'll forget that. Jake, Iron Brew or Coke?
I've never tried Iron Brew, and I don't like Coke.
Where do we go from here?
I don't know. He's been ticking all the boxes for you, mate, in terms of the cuisine. He's been saying all the right stuff in the cuisine. I don't drink Iron Brew and Coke either.
What time is it? What's your bedtime?
Whenever Geo lets me go.
Oh, crikey. Right, okay, right. Well, listen, Charlie, can we have that magic screen up, please? Let's have a little look. There we are. 868 subscribers, Jake. We didn't quite get the 1,000 for you, but there'll be people watching this on Tuesday, so there'll be more tomorrow, if that makes sense. Not everybody watches on Monday night, so there you go. It's going up. 869 subscribers for you, Jake. You happy?
Yeah, very happy. Thank you very much.
No, honestly, it's been an absolute pleasure having you on. And Gonzo, anything you want to say to Jake before we let him depart?
No, mate, it's brilliant. I think what you're doing is brilliant. I think you're really, really good. I'm sure your parents are really proud, not proud enough to give you a drink.
Or a Nando's.
Or Nando's, it's clear. But
we can get quavers.
Average parents at best. No, I'm joking. Look, I think you're brilliant. I bet they're really, really proud of you. You're doing great stuff. You're going to carry on doing what you're doing, mate. You've been absolutely brilliant, Jake.
Will I be better if I buy Pringles?
No, I'm not even my favourite. I don't even know I got into this Pringle thing. I even said on the first video I didn't particularly like Pringles. Then I had a salt and vinegar one. I thought, actually, that ain't that bad. Before I knew it, I had about 10 tubs of them, which I ate.
Are you gonna invite me and Gonzo on?
Yes, we are.
We're up for it. Listen, Jake, I just want to say, honestly, keep up the good work. I think what you do is really, really good. I remember when me and Gonzo started out, and we were a lot worse than you are. I promise you, we were rubbish. I think your content's absolutely fantastic. So keep up the good work. Keep working hard, and you're welcome on this channel anytime you want. All right.
Yeah.
Good lad. Right, so Jake, we'll catch you in a bit. Okay. Say goodbye to everyone.
Yep. Bye, guys, and hopefully see you on Thursday, guys.
See you, mate.
Come off just as you're thinking, thank you there. Oops. And anyway, Gonzo.
He's up, great lad. He's up to 875 now. He'd do well, wouldn't he? And I bet his parents are right proud of him, to be fair. He's done so well there. So well. Yeah, well, we better put 20 quid aside because we owe Nando's in a couple of days by the looks of it. Tomorrow. We'll have Nando's tomorrow. Yeah. Absolutely. You know what? But anyway, well deserved. Thank you for joining us on Talk West Ham. We won't be back next week because next week we've got Sheffield United on Monday, so we will miss a week. We're going to do the show weekly on a Monday, probably a Monday only, and just because of time it takes and stuff. But if you want to appear in a couple of weeks' time, get in touch with us at Chathammers through that Twitter account. We'll get you on. Drop a like on the video if you enjoyed it. Scout you around here. And Gonzo, I'll see you tomorrow night for the Man United game. I'm looking forward to it. Me too, very much so. Catch you in a bit. See you, mate.